Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. R. Greeting, greeting, greeting. Hello, salutation. Oof, got an itch in an awkward place. Oh. How art thou? Um, been another week already. What on earth's going on? Um, yeah, as per the title, there's thunderstorms going around the area at the moment, so all quiet for now, but be prepared. Power might go out, weirdness might ensue, might just get very loud. Um, or nothing else will happen, and it will just be the pitter patter of rain in the background. I have got the back door open, and I'm sitting like a few feet from it, so there we go. So, howdy replay crew. Got to get that in while I remember. And if you are watching and you happen to not be catching this live, oh, pardon me. I do this every week, pretty much. Same time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down the bottom. Get that out of the way while there's no one actually here. Yeah, so it's been a week and I'm kind of glad it's over. Work has been chaotic. Yeah, I mean, I've been off since Friday, but I did 7 days out of 8 before that, so. And it's been busy. Again, it got hot. We had a couple of cooler days, then it got hot again. And we managed to, well, basically, we got restocked with fans and air conditioners, and I basically sold them all the next day. The cue grumpy customers. The next day, well, I checked your website yesterday and it said you had stock. It said you had 12 of these. Yeah, we sold them all. Sorry. I'll get you one for tomorrow. Not a lot we can do about it. You know, if you're on a website and you're thinking that, you know, the thing I'm wanting, lots of people are probably going to want, might be best to just order it. You know, basically reserve yourself one. You know, what do I know? I've only been doing online shopping since, well, online shopping was a safe thing to do. Basically, since the laws went in to protect you. Never ceases to amaze me. Marriott, my darling, everything is going fan-dabby-dozy at the moment. It's raining, it's cool, it's thundery. My belly's working normally again, I think. Well, it stopped doing what it was doing this morning anyway. How are you, my lovely? Mwah. Better than Friday. Oh dear, what happened Friday? And before you have a go at me, I'll go get his grumpiness. Oh, oh. I'm assuming you didn't have a good Friday. Oh no, what's he done? What's he managed to do? Silly boy. It makes a change from him getting one for you, though. Let's be honest. And it's all right, my American viewers. Howdy, 40 FPS, tobacco. And yes, in other developed countries, you don't have to pay for an ambulance, so you just call one. Migraines from hell, spasms in both arms and legs, and couldn't even talk straight. That doesn't sound good. Um, yeah, I'm hoping he had scans and stuff because there could be something else going on rather than just migraines. Yeah. I'm no medical expert, as we know. I'm an ex-spurt, but we all are. That kind of sounds to me like there's a something blocked, like a blood vessel that's blocked or something. Yeah, you're not the sort of thing you want to see ever, or even hear about. But as long as he's on the mend, that's the important thing. Sending him a fist bump. And so the most I've had to deal with is what generally happens with my intestines. You know, and that was just migraine from hell. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, I know. I didn't shave this morning. Scruffy Wookie. Um, yeah, didn't need to. Wasn't going to be seeing Mary today with the way my belly was. Seems kind of pointless for her to come round when I'm probably going to be spending most of the time either asleep or on the toilet. You like seeing me with a scruffy? Well, it makes me look older having the Santa beard going on with the just the two dark patches now, one there and one there. The sides are still a bit dark, but yeah. Looks good on me. Oh, it has been a bit warm to be having face fur though. Again, earlier in the week, again we were up over 30, which is, as we said, UK heat is different. And then it cooled down in the middle of the week, and it was nice, and then it got hot again. Friday, was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Friday. It started cooling off again yesterday and today. Yeah, basically been raining most of the afternoon. The good kind of rain that will soak in and actually do the garden good. Although I did have to top up the pond earlier in the week because it was getting a bit on the low side. Not a leak, literally just evaporation. But yeah, everything seems to be happy again now. Earth needs water, it does. Even the lupins that got destroyed by the green fly last week are showing signs of life. Not quite given up totally. And the fishies in the pond are all doing great. It seems every time I look, I see a different one. So I've no idea how many babies there are in there. I say babies there. Yeah, that kind of length. They're babies compared to the adults. Hmm. Yeah, I know the feeling of being worn out. I'm just glad I managed a couple of naps today, or I'd probably not be here. I'd probably be asleep. I still got the black rings around my eyes. Look like something out of Resident Evil. Lady Dimitrescu. Um, sorry. I've, I've been looking at lots and lots of figures to paint. Just a dose of IBS because of, I say IBS, just the heat and my stomach finally realizing, oh, I can relax. Um, so yeah, decided to empty at 3:30 this morning. Um, Nothing I'm not used to. Yeah, so I've been looking at lots of different figures to paint, and if you know me at all, and I think we were talking about this either last week or the week before, if I'm going to be staring at something close up, figure wise, I'm not sick and nothing going to be going on. Howdy, Yella. DP time, exactly. Dog park. You got a crown number 2, whatever that means. Could that be second longest member? Yeah, I suppose you'll take that one, wouldn't you? No one's going to complain about having the second longest member. But yeah, so looking at figures, and I'd rather paint women than men. Because if I'm going to stare at something for hours, I'd rather it not be some burly, muscular dude wearing Speedos. That said, one of the ones I have ordered is a male, but there's good reasons for that. Yeah, I'd rather be painting attractive women figures than burly men figures. Let's just be honest. I'm getting quite a collection of them now. I've got an Athena, a Fallen Angel, Elvira. Had to do Elvira. Saint Celestine, well, a knockoff of the Saint Celestine. Warhammer 40,000 character. Don't worry. And a female barbarian fighter type figure. So I don't get in third-person video games. Why a guy would ever design his character to look like a big macho dude and not a sexy woman? Exactly. The choice, like with many moons ago, Mass Effect, you could choose to play male or female. Same, I think, with Skyrim and Oblivion. I chose female. Because if I'm going to be staring at a screen for hours on end, I'd rather there be a female butt to look at than a male one. And plus, even now, I know more women play games now. It's not a purely male-dominated hobby anymore, but it's still a majority. So, yeah. design your games, or design your product for the people who are going to use it. Uh, Not only could you have, I did have. Um, you didn't get to see anything though. Bit of a shame. Um, I mean, it's like, do we remember? What was it Dead or Alive, the fighting game with basically the selling point was the jiggle physics and the sheer ridiculous size of the breastage on the characters, who were all female, mostly wearing bikinis or variations of. And then there was Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. These were games that, while the games themselves weren't exactly good, they knew who their target audience was, and it was teenage boys. So they sold a lot. But yeah, so yeah, I've been looking at all the various models on the. Never played the fighting game, just the beach volleyball version. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, looking at all the figures, trying to avoid the really not safe for work ones. Oh, I think I might have one on the way. Um, and again, I'm ordering from Temu and AliExpress, so they're cheap. Even if they are like the knockoff version, they're still high quality. Um, so I'm not complaining. But yes, I've got uh, those. What else? Who else have I got on the way? But I've got a Hasta the King in Yellow Lovecraft character, so not sexy woman. Looks like I'm out of fright. Oh no, I've got bloody thousands of them. Literally, they're all just having a snooze. Um, yeah, there's a full spawn in there, full spawn in there, full spawn in there, full spawn in there, spawning a bit down there, and a couple of spawns of super reds in there, maybe three. Yeah, they're kind of hiding up. There's one of the super reds on the glass. Yeah, they're quite far away, and I'm guessing YouTube isn't exactly giving me maxi big the resolution. Um, yeah, so looking through all these female characters and or female models, and yeah, on the iPad, and every so often one will turn up as you're scrolling down. You're like, oh bloody hell, I forgot about them. And so yeah, that's where I saw the Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil: The Village. I was like, oh, do I buy her? Hmm. Oh, there's the one in the hat and the dress, and then there's the NSFW one in bondage gear. I've not bought one yet. It's on the maybe list. Yeah, that's why that came to mind. Um, and obviously, any famous actress that's ever been naked in a movie, there's a model of as well. I'm trying to circumvent the being really pervy and creepy sections, but they just keep turning up. At least I'm not buying the anime ones though. The hentai versions. The The only models I will build with tentacles involved are going to be from the Cthulhu mythos, or maybe aliens and things like that. Not young girls being attacked by tentacle monsters. Because I think I'd creep myself out doing that. It's like, what's the point of having a model and painting it? Obviously, you enjoy the painting process, but you can't put it on display because if anyone sees it, it's rather offensive. Like the one of Roger Rabbit spanking Jessica Rabbit. Although that's still tentative. Might have to get another Jessica Rabbit though. The first one I did was before 3D printing was a thing. Yes, I know you wouldn't care. Knowing you, you'd probably recreate the pose and then throw your back out. Best part of living in California is always a Mexican's birthday and the food they cook smells amazing. I think it all tastes the same though, doesn't it? That's what I've found whenever I've had Mexican food. It's basically beef mince with gravy, just a bit of a spicy gravy. Yeah, pretty much a lot of Mexican food has, and when I think of things like burritos and tacos, they've got a lot in common with some English foods. Just replace the wrap or the shell with pastry, and you've got Cornish pasty or steak pie. Just like that, I want bacon, eggs, beans, and bread. You don't get much more English than bacon, egg, and beans for breakfast. Although I would leave the real Mexican food, my head would implode. You see, thing you have to remember though, y'all, I don't have a sense of smell, and because of that, I have about 30% the sense of taste of most people. So it would be like, oh, it's fried beef mince, and it's got a bit of spice in it. That's and by spice I mean it was just, oh, it's got a bit of heat. I wouldn't taste any spices or anything like that. Hell, when I had COVID, it took me drinking a can of this at the same time as I was eating a lump of Stilton cheese to realise, oh, hang on, they both taste exactly the same with nothing. I've got COVID. That was literally my first warning that I'd got it. And I knew I was going to have it because I'd been with Mary on the Sunday and she tested positive the Monday morning. So, but yeah, I'm going to get it. Yeah, that was my clue that I had COVID. And then I just felt a bit rough for a few days, sort of tired and achy. That was about it. Pardon me. And then it took several months to get over the not being able to breathe thing. I think you'd had it 2 or 3 times by the time I managed to get it the first time. I think I've had it twice now. Because I did have what I could have been a nasty cold, but I didn't have the snotty nose or anything. I just had the sore throat and the aches. So I was like, sore throat, ache, headache, and I've not got a runny nose. That tells me it's not a common cold. Probably got COVID again, but it didn't really affect me the second time. Yeah, well, you're basically the typhoid Mary of COVID, aren't you, Marit? If the Resident Evil games were true life, the Umbrella Corporation would be after you, trying to weaponize it. But yeah, so that's been going on. Um, Spent quite a bit of time up in the cave. Almost finished the Messerschmitt 109. Trying to remember which flavour it was. Um, Made a start on the. And when the news said that the virus had mutated again, I locked myself indoors. And you still got it. It mutated that much, it grew legs and came looking for you. Yeah, so, yeah, finished the BF 109. Started on the T-34 paper model tank that Mary got me for Father's Day. Got a fair way into that and started getting a bit frustrated because it's not the best kit. The instructions are awful, and it's not very well designed. So it's proving to be a bit awkward and not annoying, but frustrating. So I've got to a point, and I'll put it back in. Well, put the lower hull in a box, and the rest of the paper and card back into the envelope. Uh, I started on a little mini model of the Barcelona Cathedral today. That's going a lot better. Uh, Once I've got that and the BF 109 off the bench, I've got some more stuffs to sort out up there. I've got the bench on the right that currently has what is an old Sabutio pitch, you know, table football game where you flip the players against the wall, that thing. As a cover, I've got another roll of brown paper, so I'll pull that off and cover it with that instead. What else? Got a kitchen roll holder, so I've actually got kitchen roll in there now. Don't have to keep getting up and going to the bathroom and grab toilet paper. Um, Got an extension lead so I can have power on my right hand side. Hung the paper plane up from the ceiling. I'm thinking I might take the fishing rods off the wall and out just to clear some more space. And then I can move the bookshelf back a bit further. So yeah, once I've got the bench cleared, I'm going to have a bit more of a sort out and put everything where I want it. And hopefully improve efficiency. by which I mean just make it easier to keep things clean and tidy up there. I'm not sure what I'll do after. I'll have a figure to paint, and I might do another paper model next. I don't know. I shall see. Something will grab me and go, I'll do that. Oh, yeah. Annoying. One of the paper model kits I bought, which is of the Viper spaceship from Battlestar Galactica. Oh, mum duty. Doesn't come with instructions. It comes with a bloody QR code to scan. And I don't have a printer. So what I'm going to have to do is get Mary to scan the code, download and print out the instructions for me. So I'm quite good at building models. And if it's something that I've built before, especially in a medium, I've built a lot. So let's say a plastic aeroplane. Chances are I'm probably going to be able to pretty much build it without instructions. However, a paper one that I'm not used to building, of a subject I've never built before, yeah, that's not going to happen. Although saying that, some of the paper models I've had better or more instructions come with a figure that's got 3 pieces. Or Games Workshop kit that's got about 6. And you're looking at it and you're going, there's about 300 parts. You've basically just given me 2 drawings of it finished. But yeah. So there's a lot more figuring and working out with a lot of paper kits. It's that, or I just jumped in at the deep end and basically gone, right, what are the most awkward and difficult ones to do? And chose them without realizing it. I do have a Saturn V rocket. That should be fairly simple to put together. Basically a big long tube. So like the U-boat and the HMS Belfast, there's a lot to them. The fact that I've got USS Arizona on the way as well, which is a battleship rather than a cruiser, so it's going to be bigger and more complex again. But never mind. What you got going on back there? Hey, you being silly? Why is the giant valve not doing what it usually does? I think something might be eating it. Anywho, those models. Fishies wise, not a huge amount going on with the ones indoors. Had a couple more Amicus Splendens babies. That's about it. What else? That's pretty much all I've been up to, really. Just keeping calm, trying to stay cool, building models. But I say, when the temperature gets hot, unfortunately, the room I chose to be the man cave, the spare bedroom, just happens to be the hottest room in the house. So on a day when it's what was it, Monday when I came home from work, it was it had been 32 degrees outside during the day. It dropped down a bit by the time I got home. It was quarter past, it was about 8:30 when I went up there in the evening. I walked in and I got a little clock in there, tell the time and the date. But it also has a thermometer and hygrometer on it. I walk in there, I think, bloody hell, that's warm. Look at the temperature, it says 37.2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be staying up here. I'm going to be turning around and going back downstairs again. And then, was it Tuesday it cooled off? Yeah, Tuesday it started to cool off. Again, it was 32 when I went to work. And like 6 hours later, on my way home, it was 22. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in 6 hours. We went from keep that bloody door shut, keep the heat out at work, to let's open the doors up, let the heat out. So it was, even with the aircon on, it was warmer indoors than out. Because our heating and aircon at work aren't set to refrigerate and boil. They're set to keep it within a sensible parameter. So it's like the heating turns off at like 18 and the aircon turns off at like 25, 26. So it does get warm and it does get cold in there, but well, cold according to some. I think it's quite warm all year round. I think we might be down to just ash. Yeah, so that's that, and I've got this week off work, yay! So, yeah, no real plans. Basically, rest and relaxation. Keep up with my weeding in the garden. Water changes tomorrow. Want to give the bike a clean and service. Want to go on a bike ride once I've done the clean and service. Probably going to go up to Norwich one day. Jeff. Because I'm out of contract with my phone and there's a good deal going on at the moment, so it would make sense to do it now. Get a newer, better phone and it costs less. That's kind of a no-brainer, really, isn't it? What else? That's probably about all I've got planned, but that's probably going to take most of the week. And depending on the weather, maybe doing a lot of watering of the garden as well. Although, so with today's rain, it won't need it. Won't need it tomorrow, but but I will still put the change water on the garden. Because may as well use it rather than just pour it straight down the sink. Which means I might split the water changes up across 2 days, and then I can water the garden twice. Because all my bottles, which I store the water change water in, are still full from this week's water changes. I watered everything Monday and then filled the rest. I've got 19 2-litre bottles sat there. I don't. I'll just hang on. Hopefully, there's no fry swimming around in them. Probably is at least a shrimp or two though. Yeah, so I'll split the water changes up, do half tomorrow, water the garden, do half Tuesday, water the garden. And that means I can do service the bike and possibly go up to Norwich Monday, Tuesday. Means Wednesday, weather allowing, I go on a bike ride. Thursday, just flump completely. And Friday. Then Saturday, get my chores and stuff done. Goes back to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday again. Joy. Actually, I'm going to have to go have a whittle, so I'll be back in a moment. Oh, you won't stand up anyway. Oh dear. Oh, back in a minute. Ooh, there we go. That's better. Oh, oh. That's my stomach rumbling. I thought it was thundering in. Yes. What happens when my stomach plays up? I don't put anything in it because anything that goes in just comes out at high velocity shortly after. We're not just down to ash. Right. Oh. Has anyone else got anything they want to talk about? Or something they want to hear me rant or ramble on about for a bit while I relight my pipe and have a think? I suppose I should probably film some videos this week. Yeah, it's just going out again. Something fishy, probably. Something gardeny. Maybe something cavey. Yeah, it's rather moist out there at the moment, Brian. But yeah, things are growing well and filling out envelopes to send out more stickers. Oh, sticker time! I never got around to that. I just assumed no one. Or first of all, I'd have to figure out some kind of logo or something, and then I just figured out, well, no one probably wants them anyway. That is literally just a patch of white hair catching the sun, isn't it? Yeah, or catching the light. You can rock a Sharpie sticker. I mean, I don't technically do merch, but the guy that Graham Aquarium Adventures gets his from, did do me a polo, so he has got something on file. Maybe if he contacted us nicely, he might be able to do something, but I just don't do graphic design. Hell, I don't even do drawing very well, so it would basically be something I traced. It would be the logo. Probably a pleco. Probably a pleco with a sheet over its head. That would cover the fish and the phantoms, wouldn't it? Um, Tommy! So Sharpe the Magnificent, I'm working on a story on the floods here. I did hear about that. I'm going to, if you weren't here, I was going to send you a message just to check you're okay, because eek. I mean, admittedly, we're probably a bit more used to floods in the UK, but yeah, last I heard was something like, they say 51 people lost their lives in the floods. Must be a lot of water coming down very fast. But you know, that's kind of what a flash flood is, isn't it? So yeah, uh, I hope everyone in the fish fam and people we know are all safe and well. Susie Q, how are you? Blooming heck. Been a while, me darling. Actually, I was building something not long ago, and it made me think of you. Pond still hasn't reached the drainage point yet. Good, good, good. Built up like a dam to conserve the easements. Yeah, I'll say every gallon of water you can save somewhere like Texas is a big thing. Let's see. The equivalent amount of water in Niagara flows is 100 billion gallons of water in 45 minutes. Wow. And here's me grumbling about having to put 50 odd gallons of water in the pond to top it back up. But yeah, so I was thinking about you, Susie, and your doll's houses that you build and do. Well, it's not quite. It's on a similar vein. I've got to be gentle picking this up because this is probably more delicate than half my model kits. Oh, get it a bit closer in shot, somewhere around there. A book nook or a book nook of a greenhouse. And if I get the right spot, got the lights as well. Straight might be an idea. But yeah, they're awesome. I saw someone. I just saw think I saw a couple on Amazon, and then I was like, yeah, they're kind of cool. Because I've built a couple of wooden kits before. So yeah, that looks kind of cool. Um, then watched a couple of videos. I was like, yeah, they do look really quite cool. And yeah, it's basically just slot together bits of wood, and I think the only tools I used were a little bit of super glue, just to hold some of the wiring in place, and a bit of wood glue, and that's it. Just white glue, Elmer's, as you'd probably call it. Um, yeah, so, and you can get the same ones off of places like AliExpress and Temu for about half the price they are on Amazon. But if you keep an eye on Amazon, then they have them on offer as well fairly regularly. So they're good fun. Don't take that long to build. Me being a modeler saying that. And there's all sorts of different subjects and types. So there's some which are the proper book nook, which basically goes in a bookshelf. So it's like a little alleyway or scene, vignette, diorama, made to look like a book. There are others which are open. Let's say that, which is a greenhouse. So sticking it in the middle of a shelf of books probably wouldn't work too well. Um, but yeah, I'll be getting a few more of those. Preferably, I'll say preferably. I'll probably be the darker variety. So there's a Sherlock Holmes one I've seen, an old museum. Um, if I can find one that's Lovecraftian, then excellent. As anything Lovecraftian is always going to be good. Well, except for Cthulhu Hentai, that's never going to be good. But that pretty much just goes for Hentai full stop, really. Um, Stop rumbling, stomach. I'll feed you when I'm done here. Yeah, that is all ash now. But the other one that does make me chuckle about the doll's house stuffs. The people who accidentally ordered doll's house furniture online, expecting it to be full sized, then they get upset when their new sofa or couch turns up that they paid $5 whole for, and it's that big. But do you not read the measurements before you clicked buy? Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically they might be being a little bit on the cheeky or shady side, but if you read the product description and look at all the pictures, you will know whether it's full size or doll's house or model. I mean, I've seen plenty of reviews of paper or cardboard model kits where it's 1 star because the person who ordered it was expecting a ready built model of whatever it was, and they got all upset when they got some instructions and several sheets of printed cardstock. what is this? You've got to cut it out and put it together yourself. What do you expect for $5 or £4, £3 or whatever it is? I know it's getting worse and worse by the day. Well, worse from an American perspective, not everyone else's. Yeah. I mean, if you're ever bored, just put Temu fails in or AliExpress fails into YouTube and see the videos. And okay, some of the clothing is a bit bad, but then you got to think, how much have you paid for that? There's a reason. There's a reason it doesn't hang on you perfectly like the Christian Dior dress that inspired it. It's possibly because it's 1/1000th of the price. But yeah, if you look at a lot of them, and they're all go, "Oh, Timmy's got me. Oh, they've done something bad." Oh, no, you just failed at looking at what it is you're actually buying. Yeah, thank you. So I did actually finish a figure this week, but I don't think she'll show up very well because she's quite a small scale. Oh, let's grab her. Oh, where are you going, Boudica? So yes, she's 50mm or 2-inch scale, and the camera is just never going to focus on that. Yeah, come on. Oh, nearly. Yeah. But yeah. So yes, and as she kind of looks like a tribal leader, like a leader of some tribe from the way backs, and given where I live, Boudica seemed the sensible thing, but given the attire, I've gone with Boudica. I'm pretty sure Boudica or Boadicea or whatever you want to call her these days. It's like everything. Well, the correct pronunciation would be this, so this is what we're going to change it to now. Kiev. Sounds like someone's name, doesn't it? It's like Kev with an extra E in it. Or a tragedy where they just spelt it weirdly. I was waiting for him to do that with Mount Everest, because the guy it's named after didn't pronounce his name Everest. His name was George Everest. That'll be fun when they decide to do that one. And another random one. The guy who first actually measured the height of Everest made a thing of how accurate he was going to measure it. I mean, yeah, using a theodolite, so basic surveying equipment. And he came out at exactly 29,000 feet. So he added 2 feet to make it look like he'd been very accurate, not just rounded it up. Which, when you consider how long ago that was, and it was done with literally just a basic theodolite and a bit of Pythagoras. The fact that it was only like 37 feet out. Yes, the Aquatic News Network is Tommy. Yeah, exactly. Because it came out exactly at the 1,000 he added to. Just yeah, you can never forget Tommy. Yes, Q Aquatics and Exotics is named Susie. She is known as Susie Q, not to be confused with Susie Quattro, who is another Susie Q. And I think I've run out of various Can the Can and Devilgate Drive jokes. So Susie's safe. Um, Susie Quattro was a rocker in the 70s, 80s, played the bass, was quite petite and dinky, so the bass looked absolutely massive on her. Kind of the polar opposite of Pete Steele. The only person I've ever seen play a stand-up double bass like a normal guitar using a chain as a strap. It was mental. Oh, where was it? I saw Typo Neg. Oh, can't remember where it was. But yeah, seeing Typo Negative live and seeing Pete Steele come out on stage with a double bass around his neck. Oh. Thing is, it didn't look big on him. The guy was massive. And normally, when people get really tall, they tend to end up beanpole-like, don't they? Long and lanky. Yeah, yeah. He was a big dude, like bodybuilder kind of physique. Debs, darling, how the devil art you? Art you? Art thou? Ooh, have fun, Susie. Enjoy the wedding. Remember, just forever hold your peace. Don't say anything. Tommy saw Cat Williams live last night. He almost ran me over in his Bentley, or at least his driver did. They were being silly about it. It wasn't actually trying to hurt me. Yeah, having a bit of a joke about it. That's the way it should be. Have a bit of a laugh. Trying to think who Cat Williams is. Guessing probably a country, farm emo singist. I'm a mod on Susie's channel and a mod for the reptile thing she does. Cool. It was cool though because I was the first person I saw when it pulled up to the Windstar Lucas Oil Theatre, whatever. So even the theatres over there are sponsored by dinosaur juice. Yes, I know it's not dinosaur juice, but these oil companies have got to dodge their taxes somehow with charitable contributions. Yes, I am that cynical. It just comes with being middle age, or past middle age and British. Windstar World Casino has its own venue for concerts. Absolutely amazing. And of course, I've got to watch shows in this area. Yeah, I mean, there are two places I can go locally. One is the waterfront, which I wouldn't recommend. I haven't been there for years. When I say years, I mean like mid-90s. And the other one would be the University of East Anglia, UEA. That's pretty good, actually. I mean, it's a typical 1970s concrete block, but at least you can get in and out, and the toilets aren't usually overflowing. Well, at Lucas Oil Live. I think the last thing I saw sponsored by Lucas Oil was the Lucas Oil Off-Road series, which is the stadium trucks. They were fun to watch. I'm not normally a fan of short races when it comes to motor racing. I prefer longer. When I say longer, I don't mean an hour or hour and a half. I mean like 4, 6, 8, 12, 24 hours. But yeah, if you're going to watch a race that's over in about 20 minutes, half an hour, the Lucas Oil off-roaders were fun to watch. Stadium trucks launching everywhere and crashing and rolling. Moose and Dakar, yes. I never really enjoyed the Supercross or motocross that much. Don't know why, because I used to enjoy watching motorbike racing. But yeah, give me multiple classes on track at the same time, and I'm a happy bunny. Did cross country racing. Yeah. I did pretty much every kind of racing, but that was radio controlled. 65k track. Takes a bit of getting used to and learning. Then what's that? 2.5 times the length of the Nordschleife. And watching multi-class racing around there is a yeah. The 24-hour round there, the full Nürburgring Nordschleife, the Green Hell. There was what 130 something entries over about 20 classes. They split the starting groups up, so they've got 3 separate starting groups, so it's just not absolute carnage into the first corners. But the bottom class hadn't finished their first lap, and they were being lapped by the top class, which was the GT3 LM cars. Me and my buddy Matt still hold the record for the youngest go pro in cross country racing. That was back in 98 to 2000. Ooh. Congratulations. 14 years old. Wow. I'd probably hold a record for something. It's just probably something I don't want to hold the record for. Least viewers on a live stream, perhaps. Most times streaming with no one actually watching. Least planned live streams. That's definitely me, isn't it? Remember when I started and I used to like make a list of things that I wanted to talk about? And now I just play it by ear, pretty much like the videos. I have an idea for a video, I film the video. The only ones I actually do any research or take notes for are species profiles and historic building visits. Other than that, it's just play it by ear, see what happens. Nothing wrong with a waffle. Exactly. Even if it does mean that I take what could be a 10-minute video and make it into a 30-minute video, but I have tangents. Perhaps I've been watching too much Simon Whistler and his various channels, which is is it Brain Blaze, where they actually have the tangent timer pop up on screen. A whole bunch of memes about him going off on a tangent. It's, yeah. Ow. Ow. Yeah, that's what that itch was. Something's bitten me. Thought I heard a mozzie in here earlier. That's what it'll be. Now I'm going to itch all over. Oh, that's just because I haven't had a trim, and the hair behind the side of the glasses gets a bit itchy. But the only problem with these new glasses is that I've developed some nice dents on the side of my head where the arms press in. They're actually coming quite far forward now. But the glasses are the right size, and they are set up correctly. It's just my head's wonky and comically oversized. When I bought my bike helmet for my push bike, for my cycling, I had to buy the biggest size they make. And it's not like cranked down as tight as it will go either, far from it. So yeah, novelty sized dome going on. It's like trying to put a hat on the Chewbacca in the Lego Star Wars games, where it just sort of sits on the top at a jaunty angle. Yeah, I'll do one more pufflet and I'll see where we are. Right, so we got a vote for a garden video. That's easy enough to do. Is there any other videos or stuffs that people would like me to make? Cave update, tank update. Not that there's a lot going on in the tanks that's new, if anything. I will get around to some, possibly this week actually. I might just charge a camera up and have a day where I do a bunch of videos, because I've got some aquarium-y stuff from Temu. I've also got a bunch of modelling tools as well, so I could do a video on those, about how they're not as pants as people are going to think they are, because they're the same things at the same factories with a different name on them. Definitely itchy. What else can we do? Zacro air pumps. I might just do all that together in one video, because they probably sell that air pump as well. Well, I did have a good one this week. I had a customer tell me that the reason I always buy DeWalt, they're really good now. Made in America DeWalt. No, they're not. They're made in China. and, and they're owned by Black and Decker. Black and Decker, Stanley, DeWalt, it's all the same company. Yeah, that was a good one. These batteries are better than these batteries. They're the same battery, mate. No, they're not, because these are this brand. If you open up the plastic case that the batteries are in, they're all going to be Samsung. Or Sanya. One of those two companies. I think they're probably the same company anyway these days. It is going to get to a point where one company literally owns everything. Although we do have laws in place in the UK to stop that happening. When Walmart put Asda up for sale, which was Asda was a brand over here, and it was like it was the bargain basement supermarket at the time. And Walmart bought it and reduced the quality of the stock. And then the likes of Lidl and Aldi turn up and undercut them massively with actually much better products. So as the nearly went bust, which meant Walmart tried to sell them, Sainsbury's tried to buy them, and the government went, no. But it didn't occur to Sainsbury's that it might be a problem with the Monopolies and Mergers Commission for one of the largest supermarket chains to buy another one of the largest supermarket chains. And they spent £1 million on sorting things out beforehand before they bothered to contact the Monopolies and Mergers Commission. And then it all went pear-shaped. So they literally threw all that money down the drain. It's like, well, if you just saved that and like cut your prices a bit, or I don't know, maybe pay your employees a bit more than minimum wage. Yeah. It's almost like the higher ups at these companies don't actually think. It's like they get an idea in their head and they just go with it without stopping to think, is this a good idea or not? And most of the time, it isn't. I mean, Ford do well in Europe because Ford sat down and went, right, what cars do Europeans buy? What type and style and size and what do they look for in a car? And they took that on board. Then they opened factories in Europe and they've been successful ever since. Now, the other two, GM and it's Ford, GM, what's the other one? Chrysler? No, that's GM, isn't it? No, Chrysler, yeah. Well, they just decided that either we wanted American vehicles, which we don't, or that we wouldn't notice that they were just rebadging things like Deus, which is what Chevrolet, was it Chevy? Yeah, Chevrolet did that. They rebadged Daewoo's as Chevrolets and thought no one would notice, despite the fact that exactly the same car from Daewoo cost a lot less than the car from Chevrolet. So Chevy didn't sell many. Yeah, which is why American car manufacturers don't do well over here. It's nothing to do with tariffs. It's nothing to do with trade agreements or us hating American products. They're just not suitable for our roads and our lifestyles. You know, we don't do pickup trucks. We do vans because they're secure, and when it rains, all the stuff in the back doesn't get wet. They're also not much bigger than a normal car. We don't do huge, thirsty engines because, well, fuel is expensive over here. It's, yeah, considerably more expensive. And also, we have things in place for environmental stuff. So, if you've got a big, thirsty V8 engine, you're going to be paying a lot of tax. Whereas if you're driving something with a small economical engine, you will pay a lot less tax on it every year. Yeah, always makes me chuckle, that one. Price of gas has gone up. Oh my god! Oh, it's too expensive. Well, if you can't afford to buy the gas for your 5 litre V8, may I suggest switching to a 2 litre 4 pot that probably does double or triple the fuel mileage, and it's probably not that much less powerful. Yes, Americans building big engines with minimal power output. Torque. Yes, but you only need so much torque. Too much torque, and you just spin the wheels. Also, we like manuals. Manual cars over here. Because if you pass your driving test in an automatic, you can't drive a manual. If you pass your driving test in a manual, you can drive an automatic because it's easier. Because you've only got two pedals to worry about, go and woe. Yeah. Although there are areas in the country where you don't have to do a hill start on your driving test, because that is part of the driving test in the UK, starting on a hill. And the reason for that is there are places in the UK where there are no hills. I think it's Lincolnshire, the south of Lincolnshire. But it's just that flat, there's no hills to do a hill start on. But there are hills in Norfolk, despite what people say. Um, but anywho, if nobody's got anything else to add, my stomach is rumbling on it. I need something to eat because I'm literally running on sugar and caffeine at the moment. So, again, apologies for the shortened stream, but reasons. With a bit of luck, we'll go the full 2 hours next Sunday. Thank you. 40 FPS. Those ones are literally just fry tanks. That Anubius is just offcuts from other Anubii. Anubiuses? Anubii, I think that's probably more accurate. as it's Latin. Anywho, yeah, as I say, I'm going to go get something to eat, which nobody needs to see or hear. So thank you everyone for turning up. I will endeavour to upload some video-y type things this week, at least one. I'll certainly film a few anyway. Yeah, stay safe. Good luck to everyone in Texas, the one-star state. And as Tommy says, thank you very much. Stay safe. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. And Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Monday's not gonna suck do 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 do. Not gonna suck do 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 do. Not gonna suck do 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 do. Arr.